Today we're going to work on the fuel system a little bit. We need to figure, I have bought a lot of the fittings, all the fittings. I'm missing a couple that I ordered yesterday. This is the fuel cell I got. It needs to be turned around, but I'm not quite sure how we're going to mount it in here. I have a fuel pump and filter, an external one in line. This is all the line and everything that we have. Lay it out right here real quick. So this is all the fuel system stuff I have. This is our fuel line. This is also some of our fuel line. So this will be going from the gas tank to the fuel pump to the filter, and then from the filter it'll go to this size line all the way to the engine, and then we'll also use this for the return line. Reason for that is I don't think we need that big of a line for this engine. I'm not going to be adding any power to it as of right now, and so this should be plenty for what we have for the stock engine. These are fittings that we have to figure out. I've never put these on before. They're AN fittings, so I'm gonna have to figure out how they work. I kind of just want to mount it in here like this, kind of, and then run the lines off of here, and then put the fuel pump or the fuel filter and then the fuel pump here, and then just drill a hole right here, go through, and then just go under the car right there. This is all set up. I got the fittings I need, so I have a 90 coming off of here, and then that's going into a 90 onto the fuel pump, and then these are both 10 AN fittings, and then we have 6 AN fittings coming off of that on out of the fuel pump to the filter, and then out of the filter to the engine, and then the return is all 6 AN as well, and that will come up here. And then we also need to run a vent out of here to, I'm just going to use the stock one that was in the car originally, and it's just a metal line that comes up into the top of here, loops around, and then goes down. So we're going to tie into that from that, but I need to get another fitting like this and another 90. So I gotta order that, but we'll get that done later. It doesn't need to be right there until we're actually driving the car. I have the line measured out. This is the 10 AN line. That's all I need is 9¼ inches. I have plenty of extra of this. I don't know why I bought so much, but I have plenty of extra in case I mess up, which is very likely. I've seen people use a cutoff wheel to cut this before, so I'm going to try that first. I don't know what else to try. I have some tin snips I could try, some of these, but they're not big enough to get all the way around the pipe or the hose, so I'm just going to try the cutoff wheel, see what happens. So I need to get this in here first. There's little ribs in here that hold the pipe from coming out. I need to get this in here and all the way down to the bottom of that, where the threads start. But it's pretty much a little bigger than the hole, so I have no idea how to actually get this in here. I got one done after failing to do this side. I went and watched a video, and it's difficult, that's for sure, but it's manageable. It's definitely not going to come back out of there, so it takes a while to get one done, probably 10 or 15 minutes. So I have quite a few of them to do. I got one done. Now I do the rest. So using blue painter's tape is the way to go. Duct tape and anything else is going to be too sticky, and it pulls all this braiding out when you, or the weaving out when you take it off. But the painter's tape seems to be the ticket that I've found anyway. You still have to be careful because it is still sticky enough to tear it apart, but you just have to be really careful. See how it still pulls it a little bit, but it's not near as bad. Well, that one's kind of bad, but it's not near as bad as the duct tape is. And then what I also found is to take a screwdriver to help push all the stuff into the pipe. So usually I take the worst part and put that into the pipe or the fitting first, and then I use the screwdriver to get the rest of it in there. Like that. Then once you have it on there, you turn it counterclockwise, and this part in here is threaded, so it'll pull itself in if you do it correctly. And if you find a spot that's kind of bunching up a little bit like this is, just take the screwdriver, push it down and in, and that seems to work for me, at least on the other one I did. So we'll just have to see. I think it's in there far enough now that if we just keep doing this, it'll pull it all in. Looks perfect in there. So I'll put this on, put this in the vise, and it mates all the way up to that surface. So you need to make sure it's not going past that vise. And I really don't care if I mark these up. A lot of people probably are going crazy that I'm putting it in the vise without protection or whatever, but I don't care. And put a little bit of motor oil on that, so it slides in there easier. Pressure and then turn. Once it starts, what I was doing was I was also putting a little bit of tape around here so I could tell if it was backing this out at all. And the other one backed out about 1/8 of an inch, but I figured that's probably not gonna matter. So I was applying pressure while I was also tightening this. Once again, it backed out about 1/8 of an inch, or maybe a 1/16, honestly. It's not very much. I figure that's probably somewhat normal. But there's plenty of area to grip in there, so I'm not worried about that coming apart. Take this back off, and that's done. So that'll work out really well. It's not coming apart, flexible, looks pretty decent, so I'm happy with that. And now I just got to do the rest of them, so fun times. I'll show you when it's done. Fuel system's all done. We have line coming out of the tank, fuel pump, filter, and then it goes out of here. I just have it across the floor right now, and it goes into the engine right here. And then this is the return line, comes out, goes back to the top of the fuel tank in there. And you hook this battery up, and it circulates, dumps back into the tank. Everything's good. Thanks for watching.